Welcome students. So in this session we are going to see the bus allocation scheme of loosely coupled configurations. Okay, in loosely coupled configurations, uh, each mo- each module is connected with common buses. Okay, if the module access the data from memory through the common bus, so which device can access the bus? So there is a question rise, which device use the bus to access data. So n number of device is connected in a single line, then any one of the device can use the bus at the time. So the confusion will occurs if two device use the bus at the same time. So to avoid that, we are using bus allocation scheme for loosely coupled configurations. Let us enter into video.
U.com.
Recap. In last session, we were studied about multiprocessor configurations. The multiprocessor configurations are closely coupled, loosely coupled, and coprocessor. So coprocessor is 8087. Then closely coupled configuration, then its operation. After that, we were studied the loosely coupled processor in last session. Objective of this session. So after the completion of this session, you do know about bus allocation scheme of loosely coupled configurations. Okay. So first we are going to see the introduction to loosely coupled configurations. Actually we were studied in the last class, even though we must know the basis of loosely coupled configuration. The loosely coupled configuration has shared memory and system bus and shared I/O. It will share memory, I/O and system bus. All the modules are share the three things. Each processor has its own clock as well as its own memory. So in addition to access the system resource such as system clock, so each processor has its own clock and own memory. Clocks are similar frequency but asynchronous towards each other. If you are having n number of processor in a single bus, so each processor can execute or run at different frequency. Used for medium to large multiprocessor system. So the loosely coupled configuration that is used for medium or large multiprocessor systems. Each module is capable of being the bus master. Each module is act as bus master. It can control the bus. Any module could be a processor capable of being a bus master, a coprocessor configuration, or closely coupled configurations. That means any module could be a processor capable of being bus master, a coprocessor configuration, or closely coupled configurations. No direct connection between the modules. The modules can communicate through the system bus. Okay. Then processor in their separate module can simultaneously access their private subsystem through their local bus and perform their local data references and instruction fetches independently. This results in improved degree of concurrent processing because more modules can execute different operations at the same time. Excellent for real-time applications such as Separate module can be assigned for the specialized task. So it increase the speed of operation. High degree of parallelism is achieved in loosely coupled configurations. These are some summary points related to the loosely coupled configuration what were studied in last session. Then the problem in loosely coupled configuration. The bus arbitration is an important problem. How we can use the bus if n devices is connected in a single bus, how we can access the bus. Any one device can access a bus at the time. Make sure that only one processor can access the bus at a given time. Most synchronized local and system clocks for synchronous transfer. So must synchronize local and system clock. So that is very important. Requires control chip to tie into the system bus. These are the problem raised in loosely coupled configuration. To overcome these problems, we are using bus allocation schemes. The bus allocation schemes is divided into three different types. First one, daisy chaining, second one, polling, and third one, independent. So first we are going to see daisy chaining. So what is daisy chaining? It is a chaining process. So here see the block diagram. Here we are having n number of master. Each master has its own processor, memory, clock, and bus access logic. So all the masters are connected with bus controller by using bus busy signal and bus request signal. But the bus grant signal is not connected to all the masters. So the bus grant signal is transferred towards the masters. So that is act as a chain. So that this process is called as daisy chain. Here all the masters are connected in a common line, that is a bus busy and bus request. So if any one device want to use bus or any one device want to transfer data, so that device requests the bus controller by using bus request. Then bus controller generate bus grant signal, that is BGR, bus grant for request. That bus grant signal or the acknowledged signal is sent towards all the master from first master to last master. For example, if you are having a 10 device or 10 master, the 9th master requests the bus to bus controller. Then the bus grant signal that is transferred from first master, second master, third master, etc. up to 9. So each master receives the signal and compare with its original ID, because the bus grant signal has its address or data or some identity. So it compare the bus grant signal ID with its own ID. If it is match, it produce bus busy signal. If it is does not match, that transfer the bus grant signal to next master. The next master is also doing the same action and it is transferred to next master. Similar way, all the masters are transfer the bus grant signal if it is does not match. When the 9th master receive that bus grant signal, it compare its ID. Now it is matches with the bus grant signal. So after the comparison, the result is true. So the 9th bus master produce bus busy line. It enable bus busy line. After enabling the bus busy line, So the particular device, the ninth master only can transfer the data towards bus. Other devices are cannot use the bus up to the data transfer complete. Okay, so this is a daisy chaining. Here daisy chaining, bus busy and bus request are connected in common line. Bus grant is transferred to all the device in serial manner. Here any one device is failures at the time the bus grant signal is lost, so it cannot transfer to next level. This is one of the disadvantage of this daisy chaining method. So this is a summary related to daisy chaining. Need a bus controller to monitor bus busy and bus record signal. Send a bus grant to master. Each master either keeps the service or pass it. Controller synchronize the clocks. Master release the bus busy signal when it's finished. So this is the daisy chaining. Next we are going to see polling. So polling is also same as that of the previous method, but here the data are not transferred in chain way. So here the same concept, the bus busy and bus request signals are connected with all the masters. So all the masters are connected with bus busy signal, bus request signal, and three line, that is rotating encoder output line. Okay, so here any one device want to use bus that requires the bus controller by using bus request signal. The bus request signal and bus busy signal is common to all the masters. Then the bus controller generate the acknowledge of 3-bit into all the device. So the acknowledge is transferred to all the masters. If any one master is attached with the acknowledge signal, or it is compared with the acknowledge signal, that is identify this acknowledges to me. After getting the acknowledge signal, the particular master hold the bus by generating bus busy signal. After enabling bus busy signal, the bus master can use the bus system bus. At the same time, other bus cannot use the system bus. Okay. This process is called as polling method. Here the bus grant signal is transferred to all the master in parallel way. If any one of the device find its acknowledge and that device produce bus busy signal. After producing bus busy signal, the device hold the bus and it use the bus. After completing the transfer, it release the bus busy signal. This process is called as polling. Polling summary. Controller sends address of device to grant bus access. Can use priority resolution here. Memory is the highest priority, so the highest priority is granted first. If it is does not respond, then lowest priority is granted and so on until someone accepts. One of the request line is 3-bit grant line. Okay, so one request line and a 3-bit grant line. So here the priority is involved. High priority is selected first. If same time two device request the bus, at the time the bus controller decides which device has highest priority. Then it produce acknowledge signal to highest priority master. This is a polling. Next one, independent priority or independent. So here all the bus masters are connected with independent bus request and independent bus grant signal, but common bus busy signal. Suppose any one master requests the bus controller to use bus by using its separate bus request. Then the bus controller generate bus grant signal to the particular master. Then the bus grant signal is received by the particular master. Then it produce bus busy signal. The bus busy signal is common to all the master. Whenever any one device generate the bus busy, at the time the device hold the system bus. The particular device only can transfer the data at the time. When it releases the bus busy signal, other device can use the system bus. Here also the independent priority is achieved. So highest priority device is getting grant signal first. If two or more devices request the bus at the same time, highest priority device only receive the signal. This is a summary points related to independent priority. Each master have a request and grant line. Now just question of priority. Could have fixed priority or rotating priority, etc. Usually fixed priority is mainly used because the memory is a fixed priority, so it is decided to be the highest priority. Synchronization of clock must be performed once the master is recognized. Master will receive a common clock from one side and pass it to controller, which will derive a clock for transfer. Can accurately predict the calculation since memory is always highest priority. So this is a independent priority method. Okay, right. Then frequently asked questions from this topic is explain the operation of loosely coupled configuration. If you are write the loosely coupled configuration, you must write the bus allocation scheme also. Explain the bus allocation scheme in loosely coupled configuration. So this way they will ask the question in university examination. So loosely coupled configuration means you must write bus allocation scheme with loosely coupled configuration. Okay, so this is a very smaller session, so student please watch up to the end. Okay, so thanks for your time. Please subscribe and like and share this video to your friends. Thank you.